not be there for them. So I just want to always just know, like, I'm still a human. Like,
I am strong. I am who I am.
Are you kidding me? A woman that rebounds and shows up half naked to games, again, in my view, if she doesn't clean up her behavior, she's gonna be part of the problem. She barely has any clothes on, her breasts are out, her belly button's out.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system.
Off the court was a day I must call her one of the biggest hypocrites of 2024.
Things right now aren't so good for Angel Reese. The conversation surrounding her has taken a sharp turn recently, especially after the release of a controversial New Year's Eve selfie. The picture in question shows her wearing minimal clothing, with much of her body exposed, including her stomach and chest. This has departed a heated debate online, with people questioning her intentions and priorities as an athlete. The reactions are polarizing, with some defending her choice to express herself freely, and others criticizing her for leaning into a highly sexualized image.
Here's Angel Reese with this picture, with her boobs out, with her stomach out, with her presenting herself.
Angel Reese has always been a polarizing figure in women's basketball. Her unapologetic personality and confidence have earned her a dedicated fan base, but they have also attracted critics who find her approach too flashy or overly focused on her personal brand. This recent incident has only intensified the debate, particularly because it seems to clash with past statements she's made about not wanting to be sexualized.
Have you seen the picture of Angel Reese on New Year's Eve? She barely has any clothes on, her breasts are out, her belly button's out.
What makes this situation even more controversial is the timing of Charleston White's comments about her. White, known for his inflammatory takes, recently suggested in a podcast interview that Angel Reese may be positioning herself as more of a model or influencer than an athlete. He speculated that Reese might want to transition into spaces as a working girl rather than focus on basketball. His remarks were met with widespread backlash, with many calling them disrespectful and sexist. But the release of Angel Reese's selfie has some wondering whether his critique holds a shred of truth.
They learn home economics. All the ladies been more like a big plate. Yeah, so she big sales to get you OnlyFans. She'll make way more money OnlyFans than she can try to shoot a jump shot.
The picture itself has drawn comparisons to content often associated with OnlyFans or similar platforms. Critics argue that by sharing such an image, Reese is perpetuating the very stereotypes she has spoken against. They see it as a contradiction to her previous complaints about being objectified. To these critics, Reese's actions are a form of self-sabotage, as she's allegedly undermining the credibility she's worked hard to build in her basketball career.
So much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to...
But has she gone too far? Critics argue that there is a fine line between embracing femininity and sexualizing oneself to an extreme degree. In their view, Reese's latest actions tip the scale too far toward the latter, painting her less as a serious athlete and more as someone chasing fame in other arenas.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
This has led to comparisons between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, another prominent figure in women's basketball. Clark has been widely praised for her focus and dedication to the game. Many see her as a role model for young athletes because she prioritizes basketball above all else. In contrast, Reese's critics argue that her focus appears to be split between basketball and building a brand centered on desirability and celebrity status.
Everybody who has touched the floor today.
This is where the debate gets even more nuanced. Angel Reese has openly spoken about her desire to date an NBA player, even specifying that her ideal partner would be at least 6'7". Comments like these, combined with her recent actions, have led some to speculate that she's using basketball as a stepping stone to achieve other personal goals, rather than pursuing the sport for its own sake. Now, Angel Reese has been making headlines ever since her transition from college basketball to the WNBA, but it hasn't all been smooth sailing. At LSU, she was a dominant force, using her height, athleticism, and tenacity to shine on the court. She had star power, charisma, and a loyal fan base, which helped her stand out in college. But the WNBA has proven to be a much different stage, where raw athleticism alone isn't enough. Angel is now realizing that success at this level demands a high degree degree of skill, discipline, and adaptability. In college basketball, Reese was celebrated as a standout player. Her ability to rebound and score in the paint made her a household name among basketball fans. At LSU, she could rely on her physical advantages and aggressive playing style to dominate opponents. We adored her energy and confidence, and she seemed poised to carry that momentum into the professional arena. However, the WNBA is a league filled with elite athletes who not only possess incredible physical abilities, but also bring advanced skills, game IQ, and versatility to the court. For Reese, this new environment has been a wake-up call.
Yeah, like I'm a woman, I like men.
She tapping into that whole side. She tapping into that whole side of it.
No, she not. There's so many. It's a WNBA player that look like me and you.
One of the biggest criticisms of Angel Reese is her lack of a polished offensive skill set. Her jump shot, in particular, has come under heavy scrutiny. Many have pointed out her awkward shooting form and inconsistent accuracy. Videos of her attempting to improve her three-point shot often surface online, but critics argue that her form makes significant improvement unlikely. While she continues to post clips of herself hitting a few three-pointers in practice, skeptics remain unconvinced. They believe that without a more refined offensive game, she'll struggle to stand out among her WNBA peers. Rebounding remains Angel's biggest strength. Her ability to grab boards on both ends of the floor keeps her valuable in certain situations. However, the WNBA demands more than just rebounding prowess.
There they are again. This time Collier defending Stewart. She goes right at her, nothing but net.
She had one of her highest scoring seasons last year.
Rebounded. Wilson finds Hayes. Chanted defense by this sellout crowd. Plum, no space for the three. The kick out Wilson. She has space and she knocks it down.
Players like Breanna Stewart and Aja Wilson have set the standard by excelling in multiple areas: scoring, defense, playmaking, and leadership. Reese, by contrast, has yet to show she can make a similar impact across all facets of the game. This gap has led to debates about whether she can truly become a superstar at the professional level. The comparisons between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have only intensified since their college days. Clark, known for her sharp shooting and high basketball IQ, represents a completely different type of player. She is a scoring machine with an uncanny ability to knock down three-pointers from nearly anywhere on the court. Her offensive arsenal is versatile, and her performances have earned widespread praise. When these two players are juxtaposed, the contrast becomes striking. Clark excels through skill and finesse, while Reese relies more on physicality. This dynamic has fueled endless debates among fans and analysts alike. Beyond basketball, Angel Reese has cultivated a strong presence in the world of fashion and social media. Caitlin Clark has taken a more understated approach to her public image. She is often described as the girl next door, someone who exudes humility and professionalism. While Clark has also faced scrutiny, most notably for stepping outside her usual comfort zone with a glamorous photo shoot, she has largely remained focused on her craft. This contrast in personal branding has become another point of contention between their fan bases, with each side defending their favorite players' choices.
I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Their rivalry is one of the most talked about storylines in women's basketball. It first captured national attention during the 2023 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, when Reese's LSU team defeated Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes in a thrilling final.
At the end of the game, what happened? There's a lot blown up on Twitter about Angel Reese following you around, pointing to her ring finger and taunting you.
Honestly, I have no idea. I was just trying to get to the handshake line and shake hands and, be grateful that my team was in that position.
Reese brought an unapologetic swagger to the court. She often celebrated her victories with bold gestures, including the infamous "You can't see me" taunt directed at Clark during the championship game. Clark, on the other hand, was hailed as a sharpshooting sensation, capable of sinking three-pointers from absurd distances. Her calm and calculated style contrasted sharply with Reese's fiery demeanor, making their matchups must-watch events. Recently, Angel Reese faced backlash online after urging fans to follow her unrivaled team, Rose BC, on Instagram. While her request seemed lighthearted, it didn't sit well with everyone. Some fans mocked her grammar, while others questioned why she was making such demands. Her supporters praise her for being unapologetically herself, while her detractors criticize her for what they see as a lack of focus and professionalism. Angel Reese also faced significant challenges during her transition to the WNBA. Selected 7th overall by the Chicago Sky in the 2024 WNBA draft, she entered the league with high expectations. But her rookie season showed areas where she struggled to adapt to the professional level. One of the most notable challenges was her shooting performance. Reese's field goal percentage stood at 39%, with a particularly concerning 18.8% from beyond the three-point line. Critics pointed out her inconsistent shooting mechanics and slow release, which made it difficult for her to be a reliable scoring threat from the perimeter. Despite efforts to improve, including viral footage of her practicing corner three-pointers, skepticism remained about her ability to significantly enhance this aspect of her game. Off the court, Reese faced financial challenges that brought attention to the broader issue of WNBA player salaries.
Basketball star Angel Reese says her WNBA salary does not cover her rent. On ongoing Instagram Live, the Chicago Sky star says she pays $8,000 per month for rent.
She publicly stated that her annual salary of approximately $73,000 was insufficient to cover her living expenses, including an $8,000 monthly rent. This revelation sparked discussions about the financial realities for professional female athletes and the disparities between men's and women's professional sports leagues. Also, Reese encountered personal attacks and misogynistic comments from public figures, which added to the difficulties of her rookie season. Such experiences underscored the challenges female athletes often face beyond their athletic performance, including dealing with sexism and objectification in the public eye. But it's worth considering the pressures and expectations placed on young female athletes like Angel Reese. Social media has transformed the way athletes build their careers, offering opportunities to monetize their fame far beyond the court. This creates a dilemma. Should athletes stick to their sport, or is it fair for them to explore other avenues that come with fame? Reese's defenders argue that she's doing what any young person would do, exploring her identity, building her brand, and securing her future. They believe she's being unfairly targeted because she's a confident Black woman in a space that has historically not been kind to people like her. But many still worry that her actions might overshadow her athletic achievements and diminish her credibility as a basketball player. The broader question here is whether athletes can truly separate their personal lives from their professional identities. In the age of social media, it's increasingly difficult to draw that line. Every post, picture, or comment becomes a reflection of their brand, whether they like it or not. For Angel Reese, this means that her choices outside of basketball will always be scrutinized, especially when they seem to clash with her on-court persona. Charleston White's comments touch on a deeper issue about how female athletes navigate their identities in a world that often demands more from them than their male counterparts. Male athletes rarely face the same level of scrutiny over their personal lives or public personas. For female athletes like Reese, the stakes are higher and the margin for error is smaller. At the end of the day, the discussion surrounding Angel Reese's choices is about more than just one photo or one podcast comment.
She snatched 22 rebounds. Reese is the only player in WNBA history with 3 consecutive 20-rebound games. I've talked about Caitlin Clark. I love the sizzle. I love the ball handler. I love the passing ability. I love the shot-making ability.
Now, some see these things differently. They argue that Angel Reese is simply a young woman embracing her confidence and femininity in a world that often forces female athletes into masculine molds. Women in sports, particularly basketball, have long faced criticism for not conforming to traditional beauty standards. Many fans believe Reese is pushing back against this by presenting herself as both a skilled athlete and an attractive woman. Historically, female athletes have faced the challenge of balancing their athletic identity with societal expectations of femininity. Angel Reese's approach could be seen as her way of addressing this imbalance, even if it is controversial. Now, whatever your thoughts are, just write them down below. And while you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well.